Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
Excellent. So the red light is rolling, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined today by Ellie. Ellie has been part of the flagship peer-to-peer group for several years now. I reckon it's probably like 3 years. It's got to be getting on that way, I reckon.
I think it's almost 4 years.
Is it? Oh, is it? Wow.
I think so.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yes.
Time flies.
When you're having fun.
I'm absolutely delighted to have you join us. So you work as an external transport manager, as well as other things. I'm going to hand over to you to just give us a bit of an intro. Tell us a bit more about Ellie and what you do on a day-to-day basis. Where in the world are you and that kind of thing.
Okay, so yeah, I'm based in the Midlands in Rugby. I've been an external transport manager it's coming up to 4 years. It'll be 4 years in January. Obviously, I was working part-time and just took on a few operators, one or two operators at the beginning just to feel a bit. But yeah, I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. It has its challenges, and that's me really.
Fair enough. Ellie, it's a pleasure to for you to join us today. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. And I think listeners will be really interested in what we're speaking about today. So recently you were called and had the experience the pleasurable experience, and I say that sarcastically, the pleasurable experience of being called to a PI or a public inquiry. So my first question is, can you tell us the background to why you were called to the public inquiry?
Yeah, so it was last January, I took on an operator of 18 vehicles. Um, they were paying well. So that's when I had my part-time position in a different company. So I left my part-time position in the company and took on the 18 vehicles because it demanded a lot of time and attention. Um, I was with them for about 3 months, and over the 3 months, I witnessed quite a few non-compliance, and within 3 months I lost trust in the operator. So I came to the decision. I mean, came to the group a lot about issues that I were having with them and stuff, and it was just I just made a decision that couldn't trust them, and I left with an immediate effect after witnessing a few things which I put in my case file to the traffic commissioner, so they got to see all of the ins and outs of what was going on. And then that operator got caught operating from an operating centre that wasn't named on their licence later on in the year after I'd left by the DVSA. So they got themselves into a lot of trouble. But then the operator and then new transport manager decided to try and pin the blame on me and say that it was my fault and I was told to move the operating centre to their new premises. And yeah, they completely slated me to the DVSA, told them how bad I was, and I left them in the dump by just resigning with immediate effect. So then obviously the traffic commissioner wanted to call me up to the public inquiry to question my repute, to see if I was able to continue with my other operators. So yeah, it was extremely not stressful at the time.
Sure. When did you receive the letter and how did it make you feel?
Well, I received the letter on Christmas Eve at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I was already having a dreadful Christmas Eve, but then I got an email 3 o'clock. I was like, oh, look at that. I was like, what's this? So I printed it out and I was just absolutely gobsmacked saying that I've been called to a public inquiry. I printed it off, and then my sister turned up because I was prepping all the dinner for the Christmas Day meal the next day for the family. And my sister turned up, I opened the door with all this paperwork in my hand and just burst into tears. I was just like, oh my gosh, so what's wrong? So yeah, I thought the timing that they sent that letter was extremely inappropriate. And obviously it was Christmas Eve. So no one is able to, you can't really contact anyone and ask any questions. I didn't even know the ins and outs of really what was going on or why I was having to go to the public inquiry, because you don't get the case bundle until like a good few days afterwards. And then because it's between Christmas and New Year, hardly anyone's at work anyway. So I'm just stressing my little mind out, like what's going on here, trying to find out information, and even if like my insurance like covers the costs of the legal representation and stuff like that, because yeah, it was not nice on Christmas
It,
Eve.
it, it must have probably been one of your worst Christmases on record.
Definitely, 100%. Let's pray this Christmas Eve is a lot better.
I just, it really challenged me when you told me about that because I just, um, total lack of empathy to be able to be sending you, and I'm not using this for any other reason because it'll ruin anyone's Christmas, right? But you've got your daughter, you've got to make it a nice experience for her. You try and put a face on it. It's just totally inhumane considering that businesses then just shut down for 2 weeks. So you've just got this information that you're being called to a PI, and you got 2 weeks of not being able to do anything about it, not take any action, not get any support, not speak to anyone. It must have been horrific.
It was horrific. I mean, Christmas is a stressful time as it is when you're a single parent with a mortgage to run and a business to run. I mean, being a transport manager alone is a stressful time. But then, yeah, getting that on Christmas Eve was, I did think that that was a bit like mean.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Um, what were your expectations before going to the PI, and how did the reality compare to what you expected?
Okay, so I had attended a public inquiry before, but I hadn't been called up to it. One of my operators was back then a restricted operator, and they got into trouble. They were called to a public inquiry, and that's why I went along to be their transport manager for support. So I did witness how formal PIs are and how the traffic commissioner comes across, and they're very firm. So I kind of knew what to expect a little bit, but the public inquiry I went to was a lot different. There was a lot more people there, and it went on for a lot longer as well. And obviously, I was being questioned, so it was very, very, very scary.
Yeah, I can imagine. Right, okay, so you expected it to be bad, and it was scary.
Yes,
Yeah, so I kind of met
definitely.
what you expected then. And it's
Oh, I
good.
knew it was going to be
Were you
scary.
pleased? Were you pleased prior to your call up? Were you pleased that you kind of knew what to expect? Like, do you think it'd have been worse if you'd never been to one? So you were going to that one
Yeah.
when you've been called up.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm so glad I'd had experience of what they were like, because if I hadn't, um I would have been even more of a mess. Because you can attend public inquiries anyway, can't you? Anyone can go in and sit
Yes.
in and view them. So I probably would have done that very quickly just to get a feel of what I was up against. But yeah, it's just like being in a courtroom and
Awesome. Can you walk us through the day itself? What was it like? Just sort of step by step, talk me through it.
okay. Yeah, so I attended with Charlie Ahmed, who was my representative,
Yeah.
and then a couple of people came for support. One of the guys from our peer-to-peer group and another guy that I work quite closely with. So we arrived, you have to get there an hour before, and I was a bit nervous about seeing the operator that my old previous, like the director of that company, because he's basically told load of lies about me and dragged me through hell. And I was just like, great, he's going to be there. And I thought a load more of the colleagues from the business were going to be there, but luckily it was just him. But he was sat in a different room, obviously with his support. And then yeah, you get called through, and like you're all sat along the front desk, and I'm sat next to the director whose fault it is saying the lies about me. I've got my representative, and it begins, and it went on for a couple of hours, and then like the director got questioned, so he had to get up and go and sit at the front in front of the mic while the TC is then questioning you, and then I had my turn. I got called up, and I think I'd actually done surprisingly well. I was actually all right. I thought when I got called up there that I was going to be like a gibbering mess,
Yeah.
but I was actually so annoyed with the operator that like I didn't really hold back. I just said what I felt.
Yeah. Did you
But
manage to
then
keep it together emotionally?
I managed to keep it together emotionally,
Good.
yes, which was
Okay.
good. I didn't burst out into tears or anger. Then I got dismissed later on because he'd finished the traffic commissioner had obviously read all my case notes and realised that I'd actually done nothing wrong. So I got dismissed, and then the operator had to stay in the public inquiry for longer until the traffic commissioner made his mind up of what he was going to do to them.
Do you know what the outcome was?
Yes, the outcome was they got curtailed by two vehicles for 3 months. So, I mean, I think that was quite light, to be fair, considering the evidence I had submitted. But also, everyone they don't want to lose jobs, drivers and vehicles and stuff. So, yeah, they were punished.
Makes sense. Okay. Did you feel prepared, or were there things you wish you'd done differently?
I did feel really prepared actually, because me being me, like ever since I got that email, it has consumed me, and I was just wanted to make sure that I got every detail down. I went through everything. Luckily, I had everything, all the notes on my laptop and stuff, and obviously my representative helped me as well. So I did actually feel really prepared. I couldn't prepare any more than I could have.
Yeah. And would that be your advice for another other transport managers to make sure that you do go really well prepared?
Massively, yeah. Don't just think you're going to turn up on the day and wing it, because that's not going to happen, because you have to also submit a load of your case notes, like case file, to the traffic commissioner so they can read them before they come into the public inquiry. So yeah, and also just keep everything and evidence everything.
Yeah. For you, what was the most challenging part of the overall experience?
I think, well, the way it affected my mental health and the financial cost that it put on me,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hi, I'm Shani from Flagship Partners. We're proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast, your go-to source for all things fleet management. If you're looking for expert advice or high-quality training for your fleet business, make Flagship Partners your first choice. We're also thrilled to announce the launch of our Fleet Academy, designed to support and develop future fleet leaders through expert-led and career-focused training. Our offering includes fully accredited courses such as the Transport Manager CPC training, CPC refresher courses, OLAT training, plus ongoing mentoring, support and professional development beyond the qualification. Our vision is simple: to develop elite fleet professionals who drive excellence across the industry. Let's shape the future of our fleet management together.
Yeah. So you felt you didn't feel comfortable to represent yourself. So obviously you invested to have Charlie represent you
I
at
did.
the time. So that's obviously for an ETM. You've no insurance for that. You've no, it's all at your own expense as a
Yeah,
self-employed person.
that that was one of my questions, was because I've obviously got my insurance, and when I first got the letter, I went through my insurance documents and I thought that I'd be covered for legal representation
Yeah.
costs. But it turned out, and that took a long time. I didn't get an answer for a good few weeks because obviously the insurance people were off on holiday. For them to turn around and confirm that I wasn't actually covered, they weren't prepared to pay for my legal representation costs. So I was just like, what am I going to do? It just been Christmas. I'm a single mum. I just literally spent my last of my like savings really on ensuring that my daughter had a good Christmas. So there
Yeah.
was no savings left. So I actually had to borrow a load of money from a family member to pay for my representation, and then sell my car, downgrade it to pay my family member the money back. So that all while I was trying to prepare for the public inquiry and carry on with my operators. So it was extremely stressful,
Bless you. That's really
but I'm
tricky.
alive.
Yeah. Yeah. So if it kind of leads on to my next question, which was how did the public inquiry impact you personally? That I suppose all of the above.
Yeah, it basically destroyed my mental health for a long time. It consumed me.
Do you feel
Yeah,
like you're over it? Are you over it now? Or are you still, do you think you're fearful of like, because there'll be an element of like post-traumatic stress. It's quite a traumatic experience, a very
yeah. I still think it's had a long-term effect on me the whole of this year. I'm probably only starting to feel a lot better now from
sure.
that whole aftermath of what it caused me. Because yeah, it's actually led me to put my house on the market. So I think I mentioned that in such a group the other day, because I was like, right, I was going to consider after the public inquiry, finding a full-time role and not being an external transport manager, because I never wanted to be put through that hell ever again. So I was actually considering positions and looking for jobs. But afterwards, I made the decision to stay doing what I'm doing. And then I've actually fortunately found another two operators. So I will only work with an operator now if I know and I trust them and I know that they're compliant or they want to be compliant. Where before I would have probably just took on operators that I thought I could get them into a good place if they weren't being compliant. It's all about trust, I believe, really.
Makes sense.
So yeah, the reason I'm probably putting my house on the market and downsizing is just so I can have some safety money in the bank, just in case that ever happens to me again.
Got
Because
you.
if I got another letter now from the traffic commissioner calling me to another public inquiry, I'd be screwed. So yeah, it's part of my decision to do that.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Makes total sense. Um, mm. Did it change the way you view compliance, transport management, running your own external transport manager practice? Like you say, I'm guessing it must have made you really question your choices.
Yeah, I think the main thing is it really has made me question what operators I want to take on. I'm more go and interview them more than they want to know, like if they want to
Yeah,
even pick me.
got you.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that you look into them with details. And I mean, I like to think that I do everything compliantly as much as I can anyway. But yeah, you just have to make sure everything's documented and save everything.
So overall from the experience, have you got like a couple of lessons that you sort of took away from it? What would you say are the lessons that you learned from it?
Um, Lessons I'd learned, I think you've got to be prepared to let go of an operator with immediate effect,
Mm,
if they are non-compliant. So you've always got to think about like your career and your financial side of it.
sure.
And just make sure you do your job properly. I mean, these managers that are just names on licenses and don't look into the operator, I don't know how they sleep at night. So now I question everything. I'll like question everything. If I'm not sure about it, I'll question it and find. I don't want to hear like from the operator, oh, it's a grey area or something like that. I'm not having that. It's not a grey area. That doesn't exist. So yeah, I'm probably a lot more strict with them.
Fair enough. And if, like, for someone listening to this, transport manager, fleet manager, and they found themselves in your shoes, what advice would you be giving them if they said, Ellie, you've done this, what should I do?
I'd tell them just to obviously spend so much time preparing everything for the public inquiry.
And specifically, do you mean like emails, evidence to support what you've done, that kind of thing?
Yeah. I think I was struggling to get some of my emails because I had a problem with my Outlook. So then I was having to screenshot my emails and put it on a Word document and stuff. So just make sure you've got everything like saved in letters about instead of doing it on an email. I suppose that's one of my lessons. I used to send emails, but now I'll attach a letter to the email so I can go and find it in my documents a lot easier instead of trawling through emails.
Got you. So you
Um,
stuff as an attachment, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, just try and make sure you also look after your mental health. Don't let it destroy you as much as it probably destroyed me for a while back there. Yeah, do yoga or something. Take up that.
I'm glad you got yourself through it, to be fair.
Yeah,
I'm really pleased.
I'm
Um,
glad I've stayed as well.
yeah, I'm pleased. Looking back, is there anything you'd do differently before, during, or after the inquiry?
Yes, I really regret not contacting the Office of the Traffic Commissioner when I resigned with immediate effect with all of my evidence as to why I was doing that.
Okay.
Because I should have informed them when I left, and then hopefully that might have even prevented me getting called to the public inquiry because I could have told them then why I was
Yeah, got
resigning.
you. So there'd have been the
So
evidence there, yeah,
yeah,
pre-existing evidence to
I
have
don't know
been
if that would have made a difference or not, but I do think maybe I should have like, asked. I remember considering at the time, like, should I tell the traffic commissioner? And I was just like, oh, I'm not really sure. But then I was just like, well, I don't want to. Well, yeah, I didn't, but that was my big mistake. I regret not telling them.
No, fair enough.
Lesson learned as well.
How do you think the process has improved you in any way?
Um, I think it gives me a good story, I suppose it is a story, that I talked to my
Yeah.
operators.
Nice
Any
little
new
after dinner. Nice little after dinner story about the time you got
Yeah,
there on Christmas Eve.
yeah. So and also my two new operators, obviously that I've taken on since public inquiry, I tell them. So I've got evidence to prove that as to why I'm going to instruct that you are extremely compliant and I'm not messing about here. And
True.
so I do think it's helped in that way because it's gave me a bit of um yeah security for a story to tell them what can happen
Yeah.
if they don't listen to me.
Got
But
to
yeah,
listen.
my
Got to
my
listen to
operators
Ellie.
are good at the minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got to listen to Ellie.
yeah.
Okay. And final question from me. So, how's the experience shaped the way you do things now?
Yeah, it just makes me like do everything properly. I mean, I was doing everything properly before, but again, document everything, even if like don't let anything slip. Like, I mean, when you go on holidays as a transport manager, it's hard, isn't it? Because you're not there for a week, and it's just like you've got to make sure everything is always done and you check everything out. So it's made me probably spend a lot more time on operators than I should, really, because like, you think you're doing your best, but then you can always do more with being a transport manager. It's never ending. You could go dig into deep things with each and everything with your operator, really. So it's made me a better transport manager, I would say.
I've got a leading question as my final one,
Oh,
and obviously it benefits me, so I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
okay.
What support? So obviously you remember the Fleet Geeks peer-to-peer group. What? How supportive was the group for you to help you get through that process?
Massively. Like I couldn't have done
You don't
anything.
have to fluff it up too much, Ellie.
No,
Like just be,
but
you can just be
no,
honest.
but I wouldn't even be able to do my career without being part of that group because obviously I remember when I first joined, like I wanted to be a good transport manager, but there was so much, there's so many different areas that you don't know. And like I see people on the Facebook groups and stuff saying, "Oh, I've just passed my TMCPC, where can I shadow someone and stuff?" And I'm just thinking, you need to come and join a group like our group
Mhm.
because there's so much to learn. And yeah, I think I remember when you put the group out there, you were meant to only you were like, "Oh, it's recommended you stay on the group for 12 months." And I was thinking, "Oh no, I'll just do a month. I just need to find out a few bits and bobs." And then like almost 4 years later, I'm still here. Like I'm not leaving
Yeah, no,
because there's always stuff that you don't know.
it's a lovely community of people, isn't it? It's a
It
lovely
really is,
community,
yeah.
and it'd be nice to get a few fresh faces in. To be fair, wouldn't it? If you're
Yeah.
listening and you're interested, yeah, give us a shout because we've got um, the established people. It's interesting, isn't it? Because the established people who are sort of the first on the scene are still there.
Yeah. And I just don't get why the new people aren't joining and staying
Yeah,
because
I know. It's
like
strange, isn't it?
it's massively helped me be well, with my transport knowledge massively. They're like you can no one knows everything, and like
Yeah,
even in the group, you think someone knows everything, but then they ask a question. It's like, see, none of you, no one knows everything. So, and no one makes me feel stupid or anything, or never ever has made me feel stupid in that group and not knowing. And I've asked some questions in the past.
yeah. No, well, I think that the only stupid question, I think we have that value, don't we? The only stupid question is the one you don't ask.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely.
there is so much to know, and sometimes like I find myself doing this, right, and it's kind of like the bouncing of an idea off the fact that something's quite basic, and you just think I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah,
And it's almost good to have that sounding board, isn't it? Because
yeah,
I often do that.
yeah,
It's
definitely,
it's good.
definitely. Yeah, no, I
Ellie,
definitely recommend it.
you've been an
Yes,
absolute star. Thank you for coming on the podcast this morning. I really,
thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate it. It's been
It's been a
really
pleasure.
fun. It's been really learning more about your PI. I think what I mean is it's been valuable, and I think the listeners
Yeah,
will get a lot of value from it. I think there's a lot of unknown and mysteriousness around PIs and the process, and people are really scared of getting a call up, and
yeah,
a lot of them really don't know what to expect. So I think it's good on the podcast to just for us to shine a light on it and for you to share your
yeah.
experience. So I appreciate you giving up your time today to do that.
That's okay, thank you. I always wanted to do a podcast and I've finally done one now.
Well, there we go. I thought I'd done one before with you. I thought we'd done
Oh,
one.
we've done a peer-to-peer one, the
Ah,
peer-to-peer
yeah,
podcast, I believe.
yeah, good.
But yeah,
I'm really proud of I'm really proud of the progress that you've made with the peer group and what you're doing. I
yeah,
think it's really, really admirable. And I think you handled in my opinion, I think what was a really difficult situation, particularly with the way you were treated. I think you've handled it with absolute dignity. So well done.
oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
No, I really mean it. I really mean it. Ellie, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Thank you very much. And I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you very much to the listeners. Thank you for joining us and having a listen today. If you've got questions for Ellie, please do drop comments on the chat, that kind of thing. If there's anything I've not asked that I should have done, just drop us a message. And yeah, lovely to have you join us. Please do make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't already, do try the peer-to-peer group. It is awesome. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.